Hello students, welcome back to second video of chapter 13, Beginning of British Rule in India. Now students, today we will continue our topic. Today we are going to study strengthening of the company's power. Now after the battles of Plassey and Buxar, the EEIC means the English East India Company introduced other policies to further strengthen its position in India. And for that, how they make their position strengthen in our India? For that, they had made alliances with some kings in India. Alliances means students, an agreement between two or more people or groups or countries by which they agree to work together to achieve something. So, English East India Company, they had made the alliances with some kings in India, and they also forced other kings to sign agreements that made them take care of company's expenses in India. Means whatever the expenses of English East India Company were there, so that expenses were fulfilled by the Indian kings, and these Indian rulers were also compelled means forced to take care of British army stationed in their provisions, means whichever British army are there in their kingdom, they have to take care of them. Now, we will study more about it, students, that the subsidiary alliance. This subsidiary alliance, it was introduced by Marquis Wellesley. Who has introduced the subsidiary alliance? Marquis Wellesley. He was the Governor General of India. And according to this alliance, it stated that Indian rulers who were under the protection of the British would have to maintain a permanent British army in their kingdoms. Means in the Indian rulers in their kingdoms, they have to keep the British army. They also had to pay for its upkeep. Means the Indian kingdoms, they has to look after the expenses of the British armies. They has to pay the money for them. The Indian rulers also had to keep a British official called resident at their courts. That means in the Indian kingdoms, in their courts, the British officer will be there, and it was known as a resident, means he will be there. He is also part of that Indian armies, Indian kingdoms courts. Then student, another way how they had strengthened their power, that was doctrine of lapse. The Governor General Lord Dalhousie introduced a policy called the doctrine of lapse. Now what is this doctrine of lapse, students? According to this policy, any Indian kingdom which was already under the subsidiary alliance, means which was already under the English East India Company control, they had to give up its territory to the British if the ruler did not have a natural male heir. That means if the king dies and if he do not have his own son, so his kingdom will be takeover by the British ruler. Okay, students, doctrine law means according to that policy, if the ruler of that territory dies or his son is not there, so that territory will directly goes under the control of British. Now students, we will study about the next important thing, that is revolt of 1857. Now student, what is the meaning of revolt? Revolt means rebel. Rebel, that means take violent actions against an established government or ruler. That is the meaning of revolt. Now student, the English East India Company's rule affected the lives of people from different segments of society. The Indian sepoys who worked in the British Army, the poor peasants. Peasants means the people who cultivate the land, those who do the farming, they're peasant people. The local Indian rulers and landlords and the common people all suffered under the unjust company rule. Landlord means student, a person who owns land and rents it to tenants to cultivate. Like in Hindi we call landlord a zamindar. Okay. Now all these people, they were suffering by the EEIC's company's unjust rule, unfair rule. Okay. And it was the Indian sepoys in the British Army. Sepoy means an Indian soldier serving under the British. So the Indian sepoy working under the British Army who finally revolted against the British. That sepoy name was Mangal Pandey. He has started rebel against his own English officer. The chief cause for their discontent include the payment of lower salaries than British soldiers, poor conditions of service for Indian soldiers, and the reservation of the higher post in the British Indian Army for just the British. Though our Indian people are working in the British Army, they are also working hard like the British soldiers. But then also, they are getting the less salary than the British soldiers. Indian soldiers, their condition is very poor. They are not getting the rights like the British soldiers were getting. Our Indian people are also educated at that time. They had started taking the education. They are also capable of the higher post. But Britishers were not giving them the higher post. Higher post was given only to the Britishers, not to the Indians. And due to all these conditions occurring in our country at that time, in the different parts of India, the revolt of 1857 was begin. And this revolt of 1857 was also known as the First War of Indian Independence. That means students, in the 1857, first time our Indians started opposing to the Britishers. Soon after that, the farmers, craftspeople and the rulers of some Indian kingdoms joined the revolt. They declared Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor, as their leader. Therefore, the British crushed the revolt with an iron hand. That means Bahadur Shah Zafar, he was declared as the last Mughal emperor. And Some of the leaders who became the part of this revolt of 1857 were Mangal Pandey. Students, Mangal Pandey, he was a soldier in the British Indian Army and he has opposed his own officer. Then another leader was Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi. She was the ruler of Jhansi. Might be students you are knowing about that Rani Lakshmibai, her real name was Manakarnika. Then students, the next leader was Tatya Tope. He was a loyal soldier of Peshwa Nana Sahib. Then the another leader was Kunwar Singh. Kunwar Singh, he was a landlord from Bihar. And Begum Hazrat Mahal. She was the wife of the Nawab of Awadh. Then student, the revolt of 1857 brought to an end to the East India Company's rule in India. Means at that time, East India Company rule was stopped in our India and the power to govern India was transferred from the company to the Queen of England. That means now English East India Company was not ruling in India, but that power was given to Queen of England. Queen Victoria became the Empress of India and India became a British colony. British colony means students, a country under political control of another country. That means now our India, our country comes under the control of Britishers. The Queen appointed a viceroy to administer India. Viceroy means a person who is sent by a king or queen to rule over another country. And student, at that time, in the different parts of India, the responsibilities are given to the different British officers to look after that kingdoms. I hope students you had understood up to this. And then after English East India Company rule was given to Queen Victoria. Now students, we will just see the timeline which we had studied in this chapter. Student, first of all we had studied about 1498 when the Vasco da Gama finds a new sea route to India for the trading purpose. Then in 1600 the EEIC is formed, English East India Company was formed. Then in 1650 Jahangir grants permission to EEIC to set up a factory in Surat. Then after it was expanded to another parts of India. Then students, 1746 to 1763 Carnatic Wars was there. In between of that 1757 the Battle of Plassey occurred. 1764 the Battle of Buxar occurred. And in the last of the end of the EEIC was 1857 the revolt. Okay, so the revolt of 1857 was the end of English East India Company's rule. But then also students, we had not got the independence at that time. Remember this thing. The English East India Company rule was stopped at that time and the power was given to Queen Victoria. Now our country was completely under the Britishers. Okay. So students, the remaining part, the further story, we will continue in the next chapter. Till then, good day. and good time and enjoy your good health. Thank you.